In Klerksdorp, in the northwest, the street names tell the story of a proud Jewish history. And in the bustle of a kosher kitchen, the heart of the local shul, that story comes to life.
How are you, ladies? Hard at work, hard at work.
Very.
Wonderful. Looking forward to this evening.
Yes, very much.
The shul is the center and it's the hub of the Jewish community. And even if you're not religious, you just know that on Friday night you'll come to shul and you'll meet everybody. You'll hear all the news that's going on in the week, and it's just a core of the Jewish community.
We always try to have something about the festival when we have the festival, so that it's not just a get-together to eat, it's a get-together to eat for a reason. And therefore, we all pull together, and it's not like in a large community where people feel it's not important for them whether they participate or they don't participate. Here, everybody knows that they are an important spoke in the wheel, and that if somebody's not in shul on a Friday night, everybody wants to know why and where they are and what's happened to them, and we care.
Many Platteland communities struggle to find a minyan, a quorum of 10 adult Jewish males to hold a service.
How's it going?
We're not just a community, we're a big happy family together. We're very, very fortunate that our members are all totally loyal, and I'm very proud to say that our community is still able to boast that we are able to have a minyan every single night of the week.
After shul, we have a schnapps, we get polony, we have a braai. We also do this on the so-called regular minyan makers' birthdays.
People are proud to be Jewish. We come every evening. It's like meeting the boys and having a good time.
There's no full-time rabbi at the Klerksdorp shul, so the services are led by an elder of the community, Sam Kramer, 94.
It is truly rewarding as the country rabbi, or the traveling rabbi as I've been nicknamed, to know how important it is, and it is my mission and goal, that under my guidance, no community, while it has the people and has the drive, should cease to function.
It's Yom HaAtzmaut, the Israeli Day of Independence, and the service ends with the singing of the Israeli national anthem, Hatikva.
An average year, I may spend a minimum of half the time either on the road or getting to my destinations by air. By air, which includes Southern Africa, the communities we look after in Southern Africa, accumulates usually to about 50,000 air miles. On the road, I can do an average of 20 to 25,000 kilometers per annum. Being on the road gives me a lot of time to think, a lot of time to plan, and most importantly to marvel at the beautiful countryside that we have, and look forward to the next destination and the next visit to the people that I'm about to visit.
On the banks of the Vaal River, a sign that Jewish business still adds spice to small-town life. Searle Sachs runs this old-style factory for the local delicacy.
How are you, Searle?
I'm very well, and yourself?
Good.
When I was a youngster, we had a rabbi, a full-time rabbi, and there were between 30 and 35 families living in Paris. We had Cheder 3 times a week in the afternoons after school. I was taught my bar mitzvah here. A few years ago, we weren't able to keep the community on the go anymore.
Today, the old synagogue is a church, its name echoing the Hebrew refrains that once rang within. Beit El, the house of God. Perry Feldman is one of the few Jews left in Parys.
How are you, Perry?
Hi, Rabbi. How are you? Well, the most hotly contested questions at the AGM was always the kosher meat. The non-kosher ones weren't always that happy about paying these premiums for the kosher meat, and the older members could get violent. And there were events of chairs being used on each other, but the younger generation was a little bit more civilized.
Okay. But the passion was there.
To make sure, yes, everything was there, and everybody pitched in. And we always had a minyan, and towards the end, people who weren't really interested, whether you were, you weren't, that wasn't the issue. Everybody who was here came to make a minyan.
But even as Platteland communities dwindle, the rabbi still calls on areas of the country where not a single living Jew remains.
So 10 minute uit die dorp af.
Okay.
Ek vind jy by die begrafplaas.
En ek sal gaan.
Dankie, Tracy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Koppies in the Free State, once a small Jewish community, now just a small Jewish graveyard. Accompanied by Tracy, who oversees the maintenance of the cemetery, the rabbi takes a stroll among the stones, on the line to his stonemason in Johannesburg. Here, as elsewhere in the Platteland, Jewish gravestones are being laid flat for protection.
As hy op die gras val nie.
Hè?
Hy sal nie sommer breek as hy op die gras val nie, maar 'n mens wil dit nie graag hê nie.
Ja, dis reg. Ek is ook bang as hy val, hy is so groot.
Dit is so.
Kan
hy kan dalk kraak.
Hy kan kraak.
Ja.
Hierdie is alright, hy is te groot, hy sal nie val nie.
Ja, hulle lyk mooi.
Maar hierdie kan 'n probleem wees. En hierdie en daardie ook.
Ja.
Hierdie groot een is so alright.
Is baie mooi.
Hello.
Between trips, in his office in Johannesburg, Rabbi Moshe stays in touch the modern way, connecting with communities and history by computer database. Today, he's planning a visit to a small town in the Free State. There's only one Jew left in Marquard. Yvonne Furman, whose late husband Ronnie ran the local general dealer. The shop has changed hands, and over the years, a lot else has changed too. Mrs. Furman lives alone now, in a small complex in the town. Her daughter, Cheryl, lives on the other side of the world, in Melbourne, Australia. But still they see each other.
It's raining here as well, not freezing, but not pleasant. And, well, Moshe arrived a little while ago with my kosher chickens and kosher parcel. And as I tell him he's my kosher lifeline from Joburg to Marquard, and bless him, he does it.
He is. He's absolutely amazing.
The Furmans made their home in Marquard and brought up their daughter, who moved to the big city, and then on to another city in another country.
So what did you do for my birthday?
Yes, we had a little tea party in your honour. And I
Oh,
made some
fantastic.
cakes. It was so sweet. There was a little rose on the table, the last of the rose season. And the people just loved it and want to know how you are and what you are. They're always asking.
Today, the name lingers on, but everything else is memory. At the side of the road, an old abandoned shul in the Free State town of Senekal.
Being the 7th country community's rabbi and traveling the length and breadth of South Africa, often I come past derelict synagogues like this one, and I think to myself on a regular basis what it was like to come and visit a community like this when it was active. What happened when people used to come to synagogue here on a Friday night on their high holy days? What was on their minds? What were they discussing? What were they thinking? What were their trials and tribulations at the time? And more importantly, the pleasures that they had in coming to worship in these small, beautiful synagogues, which many of them actually built themselves and helped to establish.
Wally Goldsmith, one of the last links with the lost chord of Judaism in Kroonstad.
You know, I feel that we can't live in a place without a shul. And so we managed to keep it up. I go most Friday nights. There might be a second youngster with me, but more often than not I'm on my own. And I don't mind because I feel at peace when I'm sitting in the shul.
In small towns, different communities have to keep the faith together, helping each other out in times of need. Eve Goldsmith looks back on such a time.
We have a priest called Father Stephen in Kroonstad. Father Stephen was very perturbed about how I was going to get my kosher food, and he phoned me one day to say he was going to Pretoria and pleased to phone a friend to do my shopping and he'll bring it back for me. I didn't have a friend who I could worry about doing my shopping in Pretoria, so I said not to worry. Phoned me 5 minutes later. He has a GPS. He can easily stop in Johannesburg, and that's exactly what he did.
The small shul in Kroonstad is a converted house, but to those who step inside, it feels like home.
When I walk into the synagogue, into this shul, you know, we have the law here, the Torah, the law, the red light, which we have also burning in Catholic churches, and the pews and the scriptures and being proclaimed and explained. It's very familiar to come in here to a service. It's not foreign to us. And I particularly always like to read a rabbinical commentary on the Hebrew scriptures when I'm preparing my homily, my sermon for Sunday.
Can I ask you all to please rise? Who took my matches? We light this memorial candle to commemorate the over 22,000 Israeli soldiers, young men and women, that have sacrificed their lives in defense of the State of Israel and the people of Israel.
The shul is filled to capacity tonight, but only a handful of the congregants are Jewish. The Chavkin sisters, Danielle and Nicole, have travelled here all the way from Welkom, where they are the only Jewish youngsters in town.
It's hard in certain ways. For instance, we don't have many Jewish friends. We don't have a lot of Jewish vibe going on in Welkom. We normally, when we go to Bloemfontein, all of our Jewish friends are there. So it's really, really nice for those few days, and then we come back to Welkom and then the Jewish vibe isn't there anymore.
When Rabbi Silberhaft comes to visit us in Welkom, we welcome him in with open arms, as we're very happy to have an acting rabbi in what once was our synagogue. We feel very secure and very happy to have him with us.
There's very little future for Kroonstad Jewry. It's an elderly community, the few that are left elderly, and now I can foresee in the next 5 to 10 years someone will have to turn off the lights.